Good morning from Isan. Good morning, Nat. Well, you hear that noise? That's officially what you'd call a pickle. We're in a pickle. And, well, I'll tell you why. There's a lot of things I need to update you on about our property here in Isan. I'm JC. This is Nat. Together we've helped hundreds of foreigners get more life for less money by having a retirement in Thailand. Now we've set out on a new adventure with the help of Danoi, Kakao, and Gopher. Together, join us on our journey while we turn this into this and make a full forest and help make Thailand green again. So, let me get out of the noise here for a minute. So for those of you who haven't watched the channel, and for those that have watched the channel, you probably know that about 2 years ago, we started a project, and it was during the end of the pandemic. And we weren't sure what was going to happen, so we got property next to Nat's parents. We got 6 Arai. Here comes Cow and Gope. Hey, what's up? They went to get us some benzene, some gasoline, and some ice. You know why? Because we have no power. Thank you, Mr. Gopher. You can just put that down over there. That's good. So we bought the property, and we wanted to do a food forest, sort of a syntropic or permaculture. And this property was only planted what we'd call manioc, yucca, for gosh, I don't know, a decade or more. And so there was nothing here when we bought it except clay. And so we bought it, and we started planting, and so it got to be that the pandemic was over. We planted some fruit trees. We were here for about 1.5 years, and we put a little knockdown house, what they call knockdown, a modular home, and a solar system, because we're off-grid here. It would cost like 1 million baht to get electricity run to the property. So that wasn't an option. So we went with solar and planted fruit trees and tried to grow some vegetables, which we weren't successful with the vegetables. And all the fruit trees that we tried to nurture and everything, things that probably shouldn't be grown in Isan. We tried everything, durian and lychee and all these different things. Some took, some didn't. Cashew trees love our property and stuff. But anyway, when the pandemic was over and everything, we said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Cha'am, to the beach, and just let everything grow naturally. What grows and appreciates our property and the soil and everything will continue to grow. And that it doesn't, that's okay. And so when we were living here, we had chickens, we have a fish pond, and we don't have any more chickens, laying hens, but I'll take you for a tour and show you what's still growing here naturally. This is now a plan B. So we're back doing other things, other projects, but we're trying to keep the property maintained. And so I'll show you what's been going on the property and tell you why the end of 2024, I'll be happy when it comes and we get into 2025, and hopefully I'll resolve all these issues that I'm going to tell you about, because we have some big issues right now. And for those who don't know, we have a deep well with a submersible pump, and we supply water to Nat's parents who live next door. And that all runs off the solar power. And we have Wi-Fi internet, so I can control it from other places if we need to. But let me show you what grew, what didn't grow, and what our problems are. So this part of the property was going to be Nat's garden area, and we were going to put a pond and stuff in here that was for swimming or whatever, or decorative. And you can see now we came out of rainy season going into dry season, and the idea is to let everything, all the grasses and everything, grow, and to shade the property. To when it dies off from not having enough water, it'll mulch. And you can see a lot of these things are now taking off. We have trees. Look at this guy, pretty nice tree. Not sure what that is. It might be macam or tamarind. And we got a lot of flower trees over here, which, like I said, was Nat's garden. And our fish pond, you can see our bougainvilleas are doing really well. And our fish pond here still has tilapia. So you'll see when I throw the fish food in here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that from this far away, but they'll come up and they'll start eating the fish food. We still have a lot of tilapia in there, which is really good. I guess they're still sleeping, haven't had their coffee yet. As soon as a couple of them start hitting, all of them will come over and start getting that food. There you go. So the fish pond is still intact and with fish, so that's good. Like I say, now this is a plan B. If anything goes south, like we get some kind of Sears pandemic or something like that, you can say you heard that here first. Then we'll be able to come back and continue what we are doing here. But you can see, for just being clay before, how much has grown up. And so our idea of letting it just naturally grass over and mulch itself, and the idea is to develop the soil, not necessarily grow stuff, but that's a good thing too. But it's not, nothing's going to grow unless we have good soil, right? So we're trying to nurture the soil and regenerate the soil. You can see this is our driveway. These were little tiny bamboo trees, and the idea was to make a driveway that we drove through, which would be cool, and which is doing well. And our fishtail palms, most of them are doing really well. But let me show you how high the grass grew during rainy season. And when we first got here, you couldn't even see most of the trees that we had planted. There's our chicken coop with no chickens right now. But we have guava, starfruit, which is carambola, mulberries, mangoes, papayas, bananas, and this one's the carambola tree. It's a little bit shaded from this big tree here, which was a chop and drop when we originally planted it. Didn't get chopped and didn't get dropped too much, so it's a big tree. But check out how high the grasses are now. We've been here now about a week, and we've cut down a lot of it so we could get in here to our plants. But you can see, I'll put this at eye height of myself, and you can see the weeds are actually taller than myself. But we've cut some of it back so we can get in here. And these are noina, or custard apples. A couple of those are doing well. Check out this cashew tree. This thing's gigantic. And our teak next to it, you can see it poking out the top there. That's doing good. We need to plant more teak. Most of them are doing really well. Some of them are a little scrawny, like this guy. Our Australian pines are gigantic, which border the property. There's another cashew tree here. The cashews seem to really love our soil. And we have mahogany, couple avocado trees. Like here's an avocado back here. I have to look for snakes because the grasses are really high. But avocado trees, got a few of those that are doing okay. But the cashews, let me get back in here. Check this out. We have lychee, which some of them are growing. It looks like they like the shade more than the full sun. Here's shade, there's full sun. Here's some more cashew trees over here, which are doing really well. Yeah, the cashews really like our property, which is a good cash crop, right? Now, if we came back to live here, then we would start doing vegetables. Try that again. This is a dakope, a little red berry that's real tasty. The birds love them, and they seem to grow really well too. You can see how big that guy is. We have some mahogany down here. Some more teak. You can see the teak. We have cacao, which doesn't seem to like our property too much, but you can see back here. And see this little tree here? This is an indigenous tree. It just happened to sprout up. In fact, a lot of these, like these here, are also indigenous. They just popped up and we let them grow. And some of those have gotten really big. But the weird thing is, now we have hundreds of them on the property. And I mean hundreds that are growing, which we'll have to cull out at some point. But our property's getting shaded, which was the idea. We actually wanted it to be like a park where we can walk through and it's cool, which nobody does around here. In fact, the locals are freaking out because we're letting the grass grow. They think somebody's going to throw a cigarette out the car window or something as they pass by and set our property on fire, which if it did, it wouldn't be that big a deal, because when this stuff gets dry, if it did catch on fire, it would be like a flash. It would go up really quick, and I don't think our house would be a problem. It's made of Shira and it's on a cement base, so I think it would be fine. And it would just burn down the grasses and add some nutrients to the soil again. But we'd like to keep the grasses and let them fall naturally and decompose into compost. But for now, this is what's happening. This is another indigenous tree that's just sprouting up. But this is yeah, everything is working out really well as far as reforesting the property, which is what we really want to do. And like I say, if we ever come out here as a plan B and have to live, well, you got a good start going. The soil should be nurtured and better than it was as clay. Here's some mulberry trees. Here's our mango over here, one of them. He's doing really well. Now, for our problems, like I said, we haven't been here. We come about every 3 or 4 months. We come, especially when the kids are on holiday. We come hang out because we travel and stuff. The kids stay with the grandparents. Our son and daughter and our nephew is here. Gopher, you saw Gopher. And Gao, our son. Our jacaranda's doing good. But, like I said, this is a solar project. We're off-grid. And we got a call because we supply the water, like I said, to Nat's parents. There's our little house. And they told us the water wasn't coming out, so we came back because it was New Year's. The kids are going to be on holiday and everything anyway, and Christmas, so we came. And check out this night blooming jasmine. This is incredibly fragrant at night. Oh my God. And bird of paradise. But anyway, so we have a new plate on top that holds the pipe. It's actually dripping. I need to actually fix that. But I came here and it had rusted off. The bottom part where the pipe connects into the ground and goes down to the submersible pump had rusted to the point where it just broke apart. And so I had to come and fix that. So we were here and I fixed it. You can see I didn't do too good of a job there because it's actually dripping a little bit, which I need to fix. But about 4 days ago, all of a sudden, after we woke up and took a shower and everything, came out, and I thought I heard this beep noise, which is coming from the shed, which is where our inverter is, our hybrid inverter. And sure enough, it had tripped and it said fault number 9, and it wouldn't come back on. I flipped the breaker a couple times and I heard this zzz electric noise, and pop, the breaker popped. I think our inverter's toast. I think it's fried. Now, to complicate things, well, let me backtrack for a minute. When Nat's parents didn't have any water, I said, well, we have a backup generator, and every time we go to leave, and I'm here for a while, when we leave, I drain out all the fuel out of everything and run it dry, so when we come back and I add fresh fuel, it'll crank right up. And so I told them, grab the generator, put some gasoline in it, and you should be able to run the pump. They have a pump over there, but they don't use it because we send the water over. And I said, go ahead and crank it up. Well, it wouldn't crank up. They couldn't get it running. So when we got here, like I said, I fixed the water pump, and then the solar went out just a few days ago, and so we had to go get the generator fixed, which is what you're hearing running, because our inverter is toast. Now the problem is, it's coming up on New Year's. It's a big holiday for Thai people, and so there's a lot of things closed, and we need to either get the inverter fixed or we need to buy another one. Now the other complication is, that's cactus. The other complication is that to buy the inverter, it's costly. Here, check out this spider web. Pretty cool. I'm not sure you can see that in the video. Very cool. To buy the inverter, it's costly. I didn't bring that much cash, and the money goes into an account in Cha'am, and you can only access it because it's a Social Security deposit account. You can only access it by going into the bank. Check out these papayas, and these are wild. Somebody spit out a seed or something and ended up growing. And check this one. We're going to pick this one today. Nice and ripe. So anyway, I don't have that bank book with me to be able to go into a bank to get the money for the inverter. So we have limited funds. We're going to see if we can find a place that's not far, maybe Buriram, which Buriram City is about an hour from us. Maybe there's a place there that can fix ours. But right now we're running a generator to keep things cool. We also have a cooler with ice to keep things cool. And we're pumping water with the generator so that we have water, Nat's parents have water, and we can continue to hang out till we get things fixed. Oh, Nat's son just left the ice on the table. Okay, kids, right? So hold on, let me get that ice into our cooler. So luckily we have gas to cook with, but we have no power except for the generator, which is running and uses up a lot of fuel. And so today is, I forget what day today is. New Year's is tomorrow or the day after. I think the day after, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, day after. So we got a couple days, but we got to get I got the generator fixed. The funny thing was, we took the generator to have it fixed, and the guy tried to fix it. He says, oh, it's good. And it was cheap. It was only like $5 to fix it. which is great, but we brought it back and of course it wasn't working. So I took it back. He tried again. Once he just starts pulling on the cord, the starter, and thinking that that's all of a sudden going to fix it, I said, you know, have you checked the spark plug? So he put a new spark plug in, it's running. As you can hear, it's running. So we're feeding that with fuel. We only run it to charge up our phones and keep the refrigerator cool for a certain amount of time. Send water over to our parents, be able to water some of the plants. But today, now it's almost 9 o'clock. We're going to head off to Buriram, or Nat's going to call first to see if there's a place that can fix our inverter. If not, we're going to try and work out some kind of deal to buy a new one. I'd still like to get ours fixed as a backup, or to be able to use it her parents or something. But that's where we are, and we're in a pickle. So we're struggling here, and it's coming up on New Year's, so it's a big holiday. It's going to be tough to get all this done, and we're running out of money too, because we're going to now start buying bigger things with the money that we brought to hang out with while we were here. So anyway, that's the update. And is there anything else I wanted to tell you? I forget now. Just hanging in there. I think it's past 5 o'clock shadow now. Need to get a shave. Anyway, we'll get you updated as to how all this works out. If we get our solar fixed again, get it running, and get everything back in business, we should be out of here probably within the week after New Year's. When the traffic dies down, we'll be out of here and head back to the beach. But this is plan B, and you can see how everything is growing pretty good for not being here and just letting it grow naturally. All our trees, we're actually getting some shade. I need to replace some awnings here because they're getting toasted by the sun. I don't know if you can see the rip in this one here, up here. Anyway, it needs to be replaced. But that's what we're doing, maintenance, and try to get everything back up to speed and working. So if we do have to come out here, we actually have everything working properly and good maintenance. Here's a guava out here. Some bananas never did grow. The ones that are the bananas we're used to, we bought, didn't do very well, but the Thai bananas seem to do well. Here's another one of these trees that just sprouted up. You can see it's almost as tall as me right here. And here's another one over here. So these things will turn into, there's like 3 of them right here. This would turn into a shady forest if we let it go. This is a moot over here. And see, I got to go through all this. Our sprinkler system and everything has a problem that we need to fix. All these hoses and everything we have. You know, our son, and he comes out here and people walk. You can't see these hoses. We've hit them with machetes and stuff. But anyway, we'll try and get all this back squared away, and then well, next time we come out, we'll be able to hang out and chill. But this time, not too much chilling going on because of these issues we're dealing with. So that's it. Here we got some dragon fruit and some lime, Thai lime, Manao, and lemongrass. This is guava coming right up in with our lemon. But things are doing well. Anyway, we're going to go see if we can fix the inverter or buy a new one so we don't have to run this generator. Right, Nat? Alright, that's it. See ya. Hey, JC here. If you like that video, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel here. Also, we have another video up here you're going to be really interested in watching as well. And if you're looking for all the details of how to retire in Thailand in one place, plus a group of people to support you, check this out over here. Give it a click.